Hello and welcome. We are at Dubai Parks and Resorts, obviously in Dubai, and we are going to have a look at all the different entrances to the theme parks and how you can get there from park entrance to park entrance. Now, I've already uploaded the one at night, but this is obviously the one at day, and there are multiple ways you can go, and you might be able to see it a little bit clearer this way. So we're starting with the Bollywood Park. Now, everything to the left and right is supposed to be either shops or restaurants and eateries. Hardly any of it was open, because hopefully it was only closed for COVID, not because it's shut down completely. So as you come later on within the 2022 season, please do let me know if these are now open and everything is working again. So we're going to take a walk right up to the top of the Bollywood entrance. Now you can get your tickets from the ticket offices that are available throughout the different lands. So each one has its own area, or you can just download the ticket before you get there, and you can just show them or scan it. I had it on a lanyard, so it was nice and simple for me. Just got straight past security. They scan you in, and then jobs are good. And now you can see in the background there is that absolutely enormous observation wheel. The Dubai Parks and Resorts playlist has every single theme park internally as well. So I have already done Bollywood. All of those are available at night. The day ones, I do believe, at the time of me doing this voiceover, still are scheduled to be uploaded later on as well. So you've got lots and lots to look forward to with regards to all the stuff that is inside the gates of this park, and the theming to this place is absolutely amazing. I would like to know your personal opinion, if you think it looks better in the daytime or the nighttime. Personally, I think it's one of the best parks lit up at night, because it's obviously what's meant to be. But during the day, it's also very, very effective. The only thing is, it is absolutely empty. The parks are supposed to be open. Everybody's at the expo. I have said this at every single video just to defend how quiet this place is. So please do let us know as you come and progress through the 2022 season just how busy it actually is. So just be careful if you think it's just going to be this quiet, you're going to walk around absolutely no problem, because it did get quite busy for me on the very last day of me walking around. Now that is the entrance to Bollywood, nice and simple. So if you had a multi-hop park pass ticket and you were going from one park to another, this is how far you would need to walk. Directly to the left hand side, if you look carefully, you can see the Legoland water park slides. So they are there, but to get to the entrance of that park, we've got to walk all the way down and then loop it back round again. But you can see just the different entrances to the shops that they've got available, and there is a little eatery to the right hand side just there that is open. Is a Costco, I do believe. Is it Costco? Yes, it is indeed. So there is one coffee shop available. That was basically it, really. There wasn't a massive amount to look at with regards to walking up, but I would imagine when it's all running again, there'll be lots and lots of things to sort of see and do on the way up and back down from the park. And now you have got these play areas. These were open, but they were limited to the amount of people that could use them. And the COVID regulations at the time of filming this were very, very sort of strict, but again, that's just because it's just to try and keep everybody as safe as possible. So we will now go for a loop around. So we have got another sort of 14-15 minutes of just soaking all of this in. I think we might go to Motiongate next, so that's why we turn right, I do believe. Now where those blue doors are with the yellow bit of artwork on the bottom right hand side, that is an absolutely massive football museum. And again, that was only open on certain days in the evening, so certain things are still closed. That entrance down there, that is the main car park into the Dubai Parks and Resorts. There is obviously another one up by the McDonald's, but that one seemed to be even bigger than the one that I've been walking through, which takes you back to the Rove Hotel. So there is plenty of parking on site. If you were to hire a car and come down this way, you can pick and choose which way you want to come in. Now you've got all of these bits and pieces with regards to bits the little ones can play on, and they've actually taken some away and added in some more trees as well. The music, I say this every time I'm walking around this, is ridiculously loud, but it is what it is. They just haven't turned it down. But when there's lots of people walking around and talking, you can hardly hear it. So again, you just got to take it with a pinch of salt. The sun on the water is obviously, that never gets boring. But what you can see in the distance, that is the new Lego Hotel. So if you have stayed there, let us know in the comments below what it is like. It looked massive from the outside, and some of the photos that I've seen as well, it looked very, very impressive. So again, just take it with a pinch of salt why this is so quiet. I did film this early on in the visit, and I was getting a bit worried that I was going to be the only person here. It was a little bit daunting and weird that you could just walk around by yourself, and the theme parks are open, so we are sort of mid-morning at the moment. So I think Bollywood didn't open till 12 noon, so that might not have been open, but the Legoland definitely was, and the Motiongate definitely was at this time. So I thought, well, I'd just get the GoPro out and go for a wander just to soak it all in, so you didn't have to worry about filming anybody in the background and everything else like that. But some of these things that we're walking past just now, these were open in the evening. So the one to the left hand side I think was, the one to the right hand side definitely was, and you've got your toilet block and everything just down there as well. So if you do need to nip to the toilet, all those toilet blocks and everything were open. Where you've got the sunglasses, that I never saw that open whatsoever, and there is another coffee club thing, which I don't know if that was open either. Not very helpful with this, are we? The play area was open, and then we're going to walk round and down. So I would imagine anything you see, the chairs and things on the outside, those things were open, but specific times. So even though it said about having breakfast and lunch and that side of things, they weren't open for what you think they would be open for. There was a place where you could just get some snacks around behind this chair. So this opened up at certain points, and then you could just get some sort of easy takeaway food as well if you wanted a bite to eat. So there is plenty of options with regards to food and drink, even if there is a lot of things closed. But you could just imagine how easy it would be and how spoilt for choice you would be when everything is open. So you can see by the signs, it can take you a couple of different ways. We're going to shoot down to Motiongate. That little hot dog on the left hand side, I did have one of those, and they were nice and tasty. So we have walked the closest and the most direct route possible from Bollywood to Motiongate. So you can see, if you had a multi-hop park pass, or you were, for example, at Motiongate and it was really busy and you wanted to get to Bollywood for just after it opens, which would be noontime, and there'll be nobody there at all, because I think everybody goes to Bollywood in the evening when the other parks close. So that's why they open staggered and they close staggered. But Motiongate is the one which is full of all the roller coasters. Obviously Legoland is the one that's full of all the Lego bricks with a couple of different rides, but it has the water park as a separate park. So that is the fourth park, and that, to be honest, was the busiest park of the four when I went to explore around the water park, because everybody was just relaxing with their mask off around the pool, because you're allowed to. And then they had masked areas where they were giving you the masks to walk around, but obviously because the water and the masks don't mix, that was the only theme park in this heat where you did not have to have your mask on. So I think everybody was making the most of that option and just sort of going there first and just relaxing before the sun got too hot, and then they were then going into the Lego park, having a look around there, sort of drying off a little bit in the sunshine, and then from there you then had the opportunity, when that park closed, to either go to Motiongate for an hour or so, or spend 2 or 3 hours at the Bollywood. Again, depending on the night that you went, would depend on the time that the parks close. So you've got to really be careful with regards to the nights that you're thinking of going, if you want to plan it. But again, some of you would just come down here for a couple of days then leave. I'm glad actually the expo was on, to be honest, because I didn't realise that my hotel had a free shuttle service to the expo, and I did everything I needed to do in the first 2.5 days. I thought I'm going to need a load of time to film everything. That wasn't the case, and there was just nobody about. So in the evenings I was filming all the bits and pieces. In the evenings I managed to do all of that basically in one night. And just Motiongate, even though it's absolutely massive, when you can walk on every single ride and you've done them a couple of times, you just don't need it. But when there's people there, that is a completely different story. So you can see the ticket offices on the outside. As we came, they were all to the left and the right. That's where you can just get your tickets, or you can go and get your passes from there as well. This lit up at night, by the way, does look absolutely fantastic. So the darker pavement, that has all the lights and everything around it, all the twinkle lights, and obviously it's supposed to be a cine reel. And there we go, that's me just talking absolutely nonsense. I didn't even know I did that. So that is the reason why I do a voiceover, because it is really loud, but you can see how hot I looked. Am I talking again? No, I'm not. Fine. So, as you can tell, I am trying to do this in one voiceover, and I had no idea I tried to speak there, but I'm not taking that bit out, so that can stay. So, as I rudely interrupted myself, the pavement there, which was the cine reel-esque type floor, that is everything that is lit up at night, and then again, the sign and everything for the Motiongate looks absolutely stunning as well. Obviously during the night as well. They are lit up for a good few hours, I think, after the park closes. So if you wanted to go down there for a photo opportunity, that is a perfect way to do it. Now, we are taking a full loop round, because otherwise I'd have to go back around the way that we've just gone. But we have only got about 7 more minutes to see the other 2 park entrances. So you can come up these stairs. This then takes you over the bridge, which is parallel to Lapita, which is the absolutely stunning hotel that they've got here. Where this would be a hotel that you'd only spend 2 or 3 nights at, because of the cost, and it's much more of a luxurious hotel as well. So I do believe if you stay at the Lapita Hotel, you do get access to the parks as well if you want to, so you won't have to pay for the park ticket. So that is something to consider, because I think they give you a Hop Park Pass ticket from there. So you're not limited to having like 1 day per park. You can use the access to the ticket and go to where you want, potentially. I think that is the case. I think, but read into the rules and regs with regards to that, because the Lapita thing wasn't open, and because of COVID, everybody keeps changing their rules and regulations and what's allowed. And obviously, with the cost of everything going up, you're either spending the same amount of money and getting less, or you're having to spend more for what you used to be able to get. So just double check with regards to where you're booking to what's included. And again, I would imagine with the Lego Park, if it's the same as some of the other hotels, you would potentially get 1 night to 2 days stayed at the Lego Hotel as well. So if you wanted to mix and match the hotels up, obviously highly recommend you doing that. There is a couple of different hotels on site, but you've got the Rove Hotel that I was staying at. I did that solely because it was so cheap. So I think I'm going to interrupt myself again in a second. That is absolutely stunning to my right hand side. So what that is Lapita Hotel. It's like a 5-star hotel. It's got the water all the way around. They usually do boat river tours as well, but they're currently not running. But that is a absolutely massive facility, and it is beautiful to walk past. And then obviously down on that side is where we've just walked. But I won't push my luck anymore. It's getting a bit warm now, but it's all good. So back to forward facing. Right, there we go. So that's me trying to give myself some information which I'm not going to take out. But as I, again, rudely was interrupting myself, you have got the options with the hotels where you want to stay at. So you've got the Lapita one, which has its own complete private entrance and the walkway in. That can take you deep into the riverland up by the McDonald's, or you can come over the bridge that is to my right-hand side, I do believe. Then you can loop it around and come in. You've now got the new option of the Legoland Hotel as well, which would be a very good option with regards to if you get the tickets. So that's something you've got to really consider. It's the price of the tickets to the price of the night. Because if you and your family stay in one room, yes, it's going to cost a little bit of money. But then if they're going to give you, say, for example, 6 tickets, so you get 2 tickets per person per day, and there's 3 of you, if you take that off the cost of the night of you staying there, then hopefully it'll make it a lot more cost effective doing that. Now, with the Rove Hotel, I didn't have that luxury, but the cost of the hotel was a lot cheaper than all the others. Now, it would have been quite cool to stay at the different hotels if I thought about it, but it was just the cost of staying at the Lego Hotel for what I wanted to do. It just really wasn't worth it. And to be honest, I'm glad I didn't, because I did end up going to the expo twice and not getting back to ridiculously early in the morning, because the expo is open for so long. But with the free bus shuttles, you get back about 1:30, I do believe. But the expo itself is open later than that, because that's when all the music things start. So they go to the early hours of the morning, and then you can get a taxi back. But they cost an absolute fortune. So you've got to be careful where you get the taxis and things from. But like I said, the Rove Hotel put on a beautiful shuttle service And I mean, they have a lot of different places they can go. It wasn't just the expo, there was other different bits and pieces where you can go to into the actual main shopping complexes, and they took you to different bits, and it was all on a timetable. So some of them you had to get up early for. You'd be there, say, at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll bring you back again at sort of 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you just had to be careful, and obviously you didn't want to miss the shuttle as well, and just plan your trips accordingly. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you are going to be staying at Lapita and they do run a bus shuttle service, make sure you have got it nailed, and obviously double check to see if the Legoland one has its own bus shuttle service as well. I would imagine they would do, just because of the area of where these hotels are, and not a lot, not a lot of people would stay and do what I did for the sort of 5 nights that I was there, and solely coming to these parks, because I didn't do that either, luckily, because the expo and everything was there. So where we are now walking over, there is a video of this all lit up at night. We're now into the heart of Riverland, and you can see how beautiful it is. But what we are starting to look at is the amazing and massive Lego hotel. Now, obviously, we're not looking at the entrance and entrances to the hotels. We've got to walk past the outside of this huge hotel to then walk down to the entrance of the theme park. Now, in case I don't film, I'm sure I would have done, the entrance of the Legoland Hotel is actually the exit of the hotel, and you walk out and then you come through and then you can get into the theme park. The main front of the hotel is actually the other side of Riverland, where I've been walking in, and you can drive around, and that's where the dragon and everything is located down there. But never got the opportunity to film the front of that hotel or to take a photo of anything of it, which is really annoying. But again, it is what it is, so it doesn't matter. We can get to see the sort of the external fascia and just how big this hotel is. But this is one of the only hotels now that I've never got into when I've had the opportunity of seeing the hotel. So now we've done, on the playlist, we've got Windsor, we have got Billund, and we will have Germany coming up soon as well. And we've got all the resorts and everything like that. Whereas this one, I'm afraid, we never managed to tick it off the list. But maybe if I ever come back, if I was to do it, I would only do this as like an overnight stay. I wouldn't come back and do this again, not for a little while, until they've added more rides and things. But we have made it. So we have made it to the last park entrance, which is the Legoland Defy entrance, and obviously the water park, which is just to the left hand side, which you will have a quick sneak peek at as well. Obviously you get meted by the dragon like you do at all the main hotels as well, which is a nice sort of touch and Easter egg coming into the park that way. It's a nice little thing that you do. And obviously I film the floor on purpose, because you get to see all the colour that they've added in for the bricks and things, as they try and take all the photos outside the Legoland Defy entrance. So it's a nice path all the way up over the bricks and everything like that. So we'll go underneath the sign, and we will just pan left, and then we will see the entrance and the fascia of all of this park and everything that is on offer. But I am going to start to wrap it up, guys. So if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that would be absolutely fantastic. I really hope that you find this helpful with regards to how close all the parks and everything's are, because it is really easy just to get about and get to them all, especially if you're staying at any of the accommodations. And don't forget, the sort of entrance and slash exit of the Legoland Hotel is directly behind me, so you would literally be less than a minute walk and you are at the water park, and you got all the ticket offices just here. Now, when this was filmed, the park was actually closed. This was actually done on the Wednesday, so one day a week they actually close the water park for maintenance. So again, you've got to be careful when you go to each of the parks, but the Legoland Dubai Park is open. You've got the big shop entrance just there, but you can't get into that bit now. You have to actually go through the gate to the left hand side. That was always blocked off, but again, I think that's just because of COVID rules and regs. So hopefully when that gets back to normal again, you can just go into the big shop without needing a ticket, which would be a nice thing, because you've got a different way in, a different way out when you've got a member of staff checking. They sort of stamp your hand, I think, so you're just allowed in there quickly to buy any of the Lego sets and everything that you want. But I'm now going to end it. So guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.